Alright. This week you have the Chapter 3 training. We'll go through this project today, and then you'll have the second grader project for Chapter 3. They're due February 1st, that's Monday at midnight. So if you go to my T-Lab, the to-do list, there it is there. Go ahead and download the files. Oops, pushing the start button. And download. You have, of course, the instructions just like the rest of them, and then this is your start spreadsheet. Then I always like to set it up by putting the instructions down at the bottom. So if you cascade this window, then move to the instructions and cascade it as well. Then scroll down. The first assignment, the first activity always tells you just to open that project. So always start at number 2. And then I like to zoom in a little bit so I can see the question. And you can adjust the windows. Okay. Everybody there? This particular chapter, we start working a little bit more with sheets, and we go into some different types of formulas. All right, everybody have the sheet up? Some more time? No? Okay. Again, I'm just going to move right through. If you get behind, don't let me lose you. Raise your hand so I can catch you up. Don't get too far behind. So if I move on to the next question, you're not quite finished, just stop me. Because as we start getting used to this program, I'll move a little bit faster through them. Okay, the first one says group the worksheets. So first thing you want to take note of is look up here at the very, very, very top where it shows your file name, very, very top center. That also not only shows your file name, but it also shows the status of your workbook. So anytime this workbook is not in an editable state or is in a modified editable state or possibly a shared state, it'll show you at the very, very top. So the first thing we need to do is group them. In order to tell if your worksheet is grouped, and this will help you out in the simulators as well, is you need to take a look at the very, very top up there. If it's grouped, it would have the word grouped in brackets. So it says to group the worksheets. So East Valley is already selected. So hold the Shift key on your keyboard and then just click the other 3. And then take a look at the very, very top of your spreadsheet. See the brackets and it says grouped? That means you're working with a grouped spreadsheet. And what happens when you group them is whatever change you make on one changes on all of them. So that's the purpose of grouping them. It'll save you some time. So then it says in cell F4, create a formula. And it says price times quantity plus storage, and fill the formula through F15. So we click in F4, and then you press equal to start your formula. I like to use the point and click method the most, so I'm going to use that. The thing about using the point and click method is it's best to use the check mark so you don't click all over your spreadsheet and change your formula. So press the equal sign, and then it says I'm creating the formula price times quantity. So we find price, which is here. You just click and it puts the cell in there. Push the asterisk on the keyboard, and then it says quantity, so click there. And then plus storage. So we hit plus and then this. And if we remember order of operations, the multiplications first and the addition. So we don't have to worry about the parentheses in this particular situation. So once you have that, just come up here in the formula bar and press the check mark. And that's your formula there. It says fill down to F15. The same data stops here, so if we hold the mouse over the little green block, the bottom right corner, and double click, it'll fill the formula down to F15. Now let's scroll through. Okay, so we're keeping our spreadsheet grouped, so we take a look up here, make sure it's still grouped. It says with the worksheets grouped in cell F16, insert a function that will sum the F column, format cell 16 with the total. So click here, we just click in F16, and how do we total a column? Remember from the previous chapter? The auto sum, good. Just come up here and auto sum and just click the auto sum button. And press the check mark. Oh, it says sum, yes, total. And then format the cells, F16 with a total cell. So if we look up, it says cell styles. So styles is always our keyword. If we look up in the styles group, there's one that says cell styles right there. Press the down arrow, and we're looking for total right there. And that's our total cell. Okay. So we have 203,891. And then it says ungroup the worksheets. So to ungroup the worksheet, just click whichever sheet you want to work with. So if I click, I'll have to click on another sheet. So click on West Side and then back on East Valley. And then take a look at the very, very top and make sure the word grouped is gone. There's nothing up top there. But you may also want to take a look in West Side and make sure that your column F is filled out, as well as flipping through to the central and the downtown. Notice how it filled it all through, even the total cell style that we placed in that column. So as long as all that is filled out, then your grouping on your worksheet worked correctly. Anyone not have that one? Okay, good. All right, next one is insert a new worksheet and rename the worksheet tab summary, then change the color. So adding a new tab, if we look down here, there's a little plus next to our existing tabs. All you do is just press that and it'll create a new sheet. So press the plus. It automatically gives it a name of sheet and then whatever current number you created. In this case, it doesn't recognize we created these. So we have sheet 1. Two ways to change the name. You can either double click it or you can do right click and rename. Either way does the same thing. And then just type summary. Oops. Remember, capitalization is the key in these. Summary there, and then you can just press enter to accept that name. And then it says change the color. So right click on the summary tab and it says tab color. Again, our palette is broken into 2 sections. You have the theme colors, which start off as solids and then go a percentage lighter and then a percentage darker. Or you just have a standard color. So this tells you to do the color to purple accent 4. So let's look in our theme colors, and there's purple, accent 4. You know that is part of the theme colors because it either has an accent or it has a percentage lighter or darker. If it just said purple, then it's in the standard colors. Okay, so purple, accent 4, and there it goes. Some screens you'll see it more pronounced than others. Now it says, move our summary sheet to the left of East Valley. So in order to move it, just hold the mouse over summary, then click and hold the mouse, and your mouse will turn into a little piece of paper. It looks like a piece of paper is attached to it. And you just move it. You see that little black caret that's moving as I'm moving the mouse? That is where the sheet will land if you release the mouse. So it says move it to the left of East Valley. So the little black caret should be pointing down there, and release it. And it just reorders your sheet. Okay. So now we're going to do a copy and paste. Let's go to the East Valley worksheet. From here on out, make sure you read your instructions very carefully, because most of the time it's going to tell you what sheet to start with, because we're going to start working with multiple sheets for your Excel files. So East Valley is first, so click in East Valley. Okay, East Valley. And okay, so we're copying A1 through F3, so highlight the range A1 through F3, which is our top portion there. Two ways you can copy it. You can come up here to the Home tab, and in the clipboard group you can press copy, or if you like the right click option, you can right click and copy. Either way works the same. Then we have to paste the values into the range A1 through F3 on the summary worksheet. So click to the summary worksheet. When you're working with Excel, you don't have to highlight the range where you want to paste it. You just need to click in the upper left corner of the block. In other words, I want this in A1 through F3 like this, but if I just click in this first cell, the top left corner of it, then it'll fill in the rest of the columns. There's two ways to do this as well. When it says, anytime it tells you to paste using a certain format, this one says paste the copy cells into the range on the summary, keeping the source column widths. Okay. That's a paste special feature. So if you want to use the ribbon up here, press the down arrow underneath the paste, and you'll have these special options. And if you hold the mouse over them, it'll show you what they are. And it'll also give you a preview of what the content will look like. It says to paste keeping the source column widths. So that's the one that my mouse is on there. It's the second row, second column in this one. The other way to do it is using the right click, and there's your paste special, and it's the same thing. You get the same menu. So whichever way, you want to right click or use the ribbon, that's your preference. So it says paste keeping source column width. We just click there, and then everything stays as it was. So 7. It says on the summary sheet, delete columns B through E in. So it says B through E. So if we come up to, take our mouse right there over top of B, make sure you're clicking on your spreadsheet. Take the click away to deselect your selection there. Hold the mouse over the letters B, and notice your arrow points down. That means you're going to adjust the column. And then click and drag over to E, and then you can just right click and delete. it'll slide everything over. So it says the inventory number and total should be the only columns to display. We have inventory number there and total. On the summary sheet, cell A2, replace so our summary sheet, A2, it says East Valley. So we're replacing the existing text with location, storage cost. Location, storage costs. In cell A3, which is currently our inventory number, it wants you to type location instead. So we can say location. Then in A4, then type East Valley. A5 is west side. A6 is central. 7 is down. And A8 says total. There. So it should look like that. Just go ahead and save your work there. Number 9. We're still working on the summary sheet. So in B4, we're going to create a formula that will display the value from cell F16 on the East Valley worksheet. This one sounds difficult, but it's fairly easy. All you do is we're going to click in B4 and tap the equal sign on the keyboard to start our formula. And then it says we want to display the value from E16 on the East Side Valley worksheet. So click on the East Side Valley worksheet and then click F16, which is our totals right there. Notice our formula up top in the formula bar. Then press the check mark on the formula bar. And it will take you back to the summary sheet and display the total from there. That way, yes.
How did you click on
And the purpose of that, of course, is if the total in the East Valley worksheet changes, it will automatically change in this summary sheet without you having to make any changes. So then we do the same thing in B5 for the west side. Create a formula display F16 on west side. So we press equal, go to west side, and essentially we're just taking the totals value that we created, our little total. So click there and it says equals west side exclamation point F16. Press check and there it is. And we do the same thing for central. We press equal, central worksheet, F16, press the check mark. Downtown, equal, downtown worksheet, F16, check mark. Good, all right. So then there's our totals displaying from the other worksheets. Number 10. On the summary sheet, so we're still here, B8, guess what we're gonna put in B8? What's going to be our function to total column B? What creates a total? Yes, just the equal sum. Anytime it says total or addition of a column or a row, it's just auto sum. Press the auto sum button. It's going to assume we want the values above it, and yes, that's what we want. Press the check mark. All right, 11, we're on the summary sheet. We're creating our clustered column bar chart using the range A3 through B7. Move the bar chart to a new sheet, name it storage costs. So I'm going to copy this. Okay, then I'm going to highlight my range A3 through B7. So we want location and total all the way down to the downtown information. A3 through B7. And we're going to click on Insert. Do you have a question?
Yeah.
Just your column width is too small, so just hold the mouse there, just double click. It's your numbers. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2. Maybe it's just your first number's correct, you have decimal points. And then the other ones are. If you get a problem with it, you might have to adjust one of the formulas. Okay, highlight your range. We're in Insert, Charts, and then if we hold the mouse over, we find one that says Bar. So if we press the down arrow and go to More Bar Charts, then we can see the clustered bar. It says create a clustered bar chart using there. So there's our clustered bar. So just click there and click OK. Then it says move the bar chart to a new sheet named storage costs. So move the chart, new sheet. And I always copy and paste this. That's what I did a minute ago, just highlight and copy, because this is one of the things that most people get wrong and don't realize that this tab is misspelled. If you do copy and paste these though, pay attention to your cursor, because sometimes you'll copy a space after it by mistake. And so if your cursor has a space there and you press OK, it's gonna mark it wrong. So make sure if you do copy and paste from the instructions, make sure the cursor ends directly after the last piece of text. Yeah. Don't highlight row 8. Once we type in a new sheet, we'll press OK, and it does just that, creates a new sheet. We can see our sheet down at the bottom, it says storage costs, and there is our chart. Now we're changing the chart layout to, the chart style to style 13. Notice with our chart selected, we have special chart tools up in the ribbon at the very, very top, design and format. In the design tab of the chart tools, we have chart styles. If we press the more button right here, then we can see all the chart styles, and it says style 13. So if we hold the mouse over, it'll show a little tooltip for the style, and what's 13, which happens to be the second column, and second row, fifth column, or the very last one listed there. And then it says change the chart title to storage by location. Our title wound up being total, so we just click there, double click. If you're not sure on these, if you hold the mouse over a piece of text, it's going to tell you what that text represents, and this one's the chart title. So double click. Oops. And you can just erase that out of there and type storage cost. Same thing here, double check capitalization and spelling as well. It's easy to miss that there and mark the whole chart wrong. And then just click somewhere in the white space to accept it. All right. Go ahead and save there. If this area came up, just press the X there and close it so you can see that room. All right, the next part is kind of redundant, but it's just showing you that you can hide tabs and show them. So in this worksheet, there's a hidden tab called South. In order to see that, if you hold your mouse down anywhere in the tabs and just right click, you'll see an option that says Unhide. Just click there, and it'll give you a list of all the sheets that are hidden. Notice that South is actually hidden. So if we press OK, then we'll get a new tab that says South. And then it wants you to delete the South worksheet, so just right click on South, right click on that tab, and then you can just click delete, and it will remove that tab. Of course, it gives you the warning that you can't undo the deleted sheet, and that's okay because we want to delete. Press OK, and it's gone again. All right, moving down to 14, it says ensure that the worksheets are correctly named and placed in the following order. So the first thing you want is storage costs. It's going to be first, so that's what we have. Summary is there. East Valley is next. West Valley is next. Central, downtown, and then save the workbook. And just double check the spelling there, gives you a chance to make sure it's correct there. And that is that work. Save it there. Make sure you know where you saved it to, and then close the Excel down. Make sure you close it before you submit it so it doesn't create any errors. We're going to save it. Then we're going to just go to upload completed file, browse. I know you guys should be pros at this one. Sometimes you'll have a whole bunch of them, which I do. I don't want to grab the wrong file by mistake, so I'm going to rename my file to something else. The file name in this class doesn't matter. I just want to name it something else so I know which one I'm grabbing. Upload, browse. As long as you see the file listed right there, you can click upload. If for some reason you don't see this message, then it's possible that My IT Lab has logged you out and you'll have to close these windows and log back in. Turn the course. And my file's gone, so I'm going over to completed. And there we go. Anyone have any questions?